Sabina! Dadgummit, they painted it. Why did they? Why? It's a little sketchy.
They paint them so they don't rust.
You're not wrong. That thing shoots terrible. First time doing anything. Well, gotta get them trussed. Control arm brackets on there. By the way, welcome back to the channel. In case you hadn't noticed. Yeah, so we gotta get them stripped down. Do you wanna look at the axles or no? Look at these beautiful things. We are gonna put Fusion Dana 60 up front, 14 bolt in the rear. It's the Fusion's shaved 14, so it's actually like a 15 bolt or whatever. But
why do they call it a 14 bolt?
Because they originally have 14 bolts on the diff cover.
Ah.
Yeah, I haven't counted these, so I don't know how many they have. But
why is this called a Dana 60?
I don't know. That's just what Dana called them.
How exactly does a positive track rear end on a Plymouth work? It just does.
They're like strong as 60 oxes or something like that.
What? If there's another differential, it's got 14 bolts on it.
Well, I don't know.
Like, what if it's really small and has four? I got a 14 bolt.
Well, because I guess technically this is the GM 14 bolt. I don't know. All I know is they're good and strong. 14 bolts are nice. This is the 40 spline, 538s, air lockers, ARB, front and rear. If he tears this up, the curbs at the mall
are wild
real
at Chick-fil-A, you know what I mean?
Oh, so
it is
yeah.
my pleasure.
My pleasure. So, of course, we put all our own trusses and everything on. So we order them from Fusion, bare tubes. They don't normally paint them, but they sure did today. You can order them if you're for your own project. If you want to, if you're just putting them under a Jeep with factory suspension, you can order them with all the brackets. They'll literally bolt in. So Fusion's got a good option for that, to be able to bolt them right in a weekend. But we don't do that kind of stuff here, so we're gonna strip all the paint.
I can't wait till we have an Off-Road Addiction option on their website.
Right, Off-Road Addiction bracketry. We should talk to them about
Think
that.
about that.
Hey, Fusion.
I'm making them at night.
What do you think about that? Yeah, that'd be cool. Need to work on that. What else you want to know? He's been hiding.
You been in there this whole time?
In like 5 minutes.
So, in this video, we're going to be showing you how we mount all of our bracketry to these, get them welded up, get them under the Jeep, and ready to attach links and ORIs and whatnot to them. So that's what we're gonna do. I gotta move a pallet, and then it's time to get started. What's up, guys? So, been working on these axles, and you know, I spent a lot of time designing trusses for these axles. Order these axles from the same company over and over and over again. They freaking changed their design. So now my truss doesn't fit. Probably can't say freak on the internet. Can I say freak?
You can.
Okay. They changed their design, so now the truss doesn't fit.
Yeah, it's got these
Yeah.
these
It's
bolt holes.
I'm not gonna lie, it's frustrating because I spent a lot of time designing trusses that'll fit on these, and now it doesn't fit. So now I gotta rework it. So anyway, I'm doing some measuring so that I can figure out how to make it all clear and make some changes in the system so that our truss fits this one, as well as in case I get another one. I don't really know I don't really know.
Yeah.
This is new. I've never seen this before. So anyway, the front should work fine, but just working on getting the trusses all tacked together and put on the axles so that we can get them under the Jeep and get suspension links measured, built, and go wheel. Oh no, we're going to the mall with this one. We're not wheeling this one. Forgot. So anyway, yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Calculating things in my head and trying to figure out.
Beep, beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep, 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 beep,
Yeah,
beep.
29. Let's see. So, and this isn't centered either at all. So they've off-centered this now.
Should we call him? Did we get the right axle?
I don't. It says Fusion
What?
538, 2 of 2. No oil. Lane has moved all of my stuff. I don't know where any of my stuff is gone.
Yeah, you're gone for one day.
I was gone for
and-
1 day, and now I can't find anything.
Way to go, Lane.
Way to go, Lane. And now I can't find my paint pen.
You guys ever watch or play Fallout?
Seriously.
Just took on 5 rads.
Is it white? I need white. I don't need 2. I just need. Oh, is that one of them's mine? Is that what you're saying? He's found them. It's my table. I should be able to leave it on my table if I want to.
No, it wasn't on that thing.
Well, no, I mean, I can't do math. Simple math is hard, huh?
Doing a great job.
Hey, don't smile.
Already was.
On the floor.
I'm like Michael Jackson today.
On the floor.
Oh, I see it. Well, make it look pretty. I actually thought real far through. It should be fine. All right, tack this together here. I'll block your eyeballs.
I got you.
Okay, block my eyeballs. Ow! Got it. Okay, we're making jigs, folks.
Making them at night.
Making them at night.
Oh wait, it's daytime.
Need some duck
Never
nuts.
mind. Don't tell Ricky. That'll throw them at us like we're circus animals again.
Did you tighten these down?
With my fingers.
Ooh, check you out, man. All right, now we need to weld these. You gonna weld them?
Sure.
Lane's gonna weld them. Let's watch him weld them. Make fun of him. Okay, so basically, we're at a point where we need some consistency in our builds. So you guys missed a little bit of it. I already built jigs for the Dana 60 front axle. So basically, now I'm building jigs for the 14 bolts. So the axle will sit up here. This will be the pinion support. It'll all have a location. And then I will build another set of brackets for the lower control arm mounts so that every one of them is in the same exact spot. That way there's no guesswork. I could have a monkey come in here and weld them together.
secretly have no clue what's
Not that we're
going
going to
on.
do that. Or Lane. So basically we're just trying to make some consistency here and make things go a little bit smoother at Off-Road Addiction as far as our fab stuff goes. Pretty much all of our JKUs are getting the same exact geometry, so we might as well just make some jigs, make it go that much quicker. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So he's gonna weld these up. We're gonna make fun of his welds, and then we'll see if it'll hold an axle. Get after it. I'm gonna do some teaching while I'm here.
I don't even know what I'm doing up here.
You're just gonna weld it. How are you gonna do it? What are you gonna weld first? Why do we switch sides?
Oh, it's just getting I was just getting it all untangled.
It's walking around in circles.
I didn't even know.
Okay, get her done. What are you gonna weld first? You gonna weld that? Okay, weld it. Nope, not like that. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Slow down on your C's a little bit. Okay. So Lane's learning how to weld. He can weld, but we're working on beautification of these welds. So
I can make them stick.
yeah, he
But
can
they
make a
don't
weld, but
don't look
we
bad.
just got to work on that beautification. People like them dimes, you know. So, all right, what are you gonna weld next? You comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. Get that weld going before you move. There you go. Now drag it over, push it up. 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 You're doing a great job. It's like exercise, repetitive. Maybe a little bit faster. You got a lot of stick out happening. A lot of wire. Whoa, that's the bolt.
That's the bolt. Well, I stuck out when I was trying to avoid the bolt.
Yeah. That's okay. It's just a jig. It's fine. It's gonna be complicated.
That's where Rob blows a gasket.
I had a no-bake cookie. Good golly, that's hot.
Hey, you want to grab your little?
No, I grabbed the corner over here.
You want to grab your little scrap piece?
Your scrap piece. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Didn't tell
I'm
me
seeing
that.
a trend with him and forklifts over here. Waiting on Joe. Whoa, what do you know?
Oh,
Time
cowboy.
is slow. Real sketchy. Real sketchy. Where are you?
Sure you don't want to use the winch again?
Positive. That was a terrible decision. Be beautiful. Yeah, you can get out of there. Bye.
Ooh, I think I gotta go give my goldfish a bath.
It's empty. Water's out. All right, guys. Axles are built, ready to go. So I think we've stated this already, but these are Fusion axles. We use the Dana 60 up front, and this particular Jeep is getting the 14 bolt in the rear. It is their pre-shaved one. We build all the trusses, all the bracketry for our suspension. So we've gotten all that stuff taken care of. We've got some nice new jigs to use for the future to make this much more streamlined and seamless. So now the next step is we're going to get this axle off, get it on some rollers, and we've got some steel mock-up arms that we use for putting everything together. We don't want the aluminum to get all scratched up. We let you do that. So we're gonna put it under there, get some arms under it. We'll build the upper arms that we'll actually use for it. Those are steel. They get tigged together, real nice, real clean. Then it'll be ready to basically kind of mock assembly everything, make sure everything fits the way we like it, put the body back down, make sure all that works, flex everything out, make sure it works with everything we got going on. We do still have ORI mounts to put on here, but there's just 2 tabs, so pretty simple. I actually am working on how I want to make sure that that's uniform for if I'm, what if I die? Somebody else has to do this. I'm not going to, but what if I did? So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna do that. All that. What else you want to know? This is all self-explanatory. These, yes, do have a jig, so that they get placed. Yeah. So pinion gets set at a specific height, then my jig goes in here, tack them on, you can pull the jigs out, fully weld everything up. Pretty straightforward. The rear axle's super simple because there's just not as much, it's just triangles. Triangles are easy, in my opinion. Lane, we're gonna pick this up, put it on the ground, or what? Come on, let's do this. I think the only reason they mic me up is because they like hearing me talk to myself. Trying a new one, guys. It's not cherry slush. It's called pink slush. I don't think pink is a flavor, but what did I do with my angle finder? Can't find my angle finder. Way too long. Oh, I'm okay. It's always nice when you get to the end of a project and you only have a couple brackets left. That's all you've got. It's maxed out. Well, you like it? Yeah, I just got an email. False. It's a scam. Don't click on it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel.
Nope.
No? This isn't the beginning of the video. This isn't the beginning of the video. Okay. Okay. All right. It's not the beginning. Okay, so we got the axles trussed. Trusses are all welded up, and the axles underneath the chassis. Couple of things that I want to touch on these axles. We do currently purchase all of our axles for our super builds from Fusion 4x4. They make a great product. They have a great warranty. We've got a good relationship with them, so we really like what they're producing. So we're going to continue using them until something changes, I guess. But the cool thing about these axles, so for instance, this is a Dana 60 front. It uses a Dana 60 Ford ring and pinion, just like any other Ford axle would. They moved the pumpkin over so that we have more room to put cool activities over here, like ORI mounts and control arm mounts and all that good stuff. And it gets the differential, with the junkyard axles, the differential's further over and you really got to worry about clearance in the frame and all that stuff. So Fusion really has had that all thought out. The other really cool thing about it is they are a kingpin axle. So they're not a ball joint axle. Normally you would have a ball joint top and bottom, but with a kingpin you've got a bearing in the bottom and a cone up top. And normally kingpins came with a spring, but this is a spring eliminated kingpin, and this adjuster screw right here will tighten or loosen that kingpin up so that you can continue to keep tension on that bearing. Just makes it for, it's a little more maintenance for sure, but the longevity of it, if you will actually take care of it, it'll last you a really, really long time. Fusion also does a really good job of getting tone rings put in there, so everything on the axle side is practically plug and play. All your ABS works, cruise control, all that stuff is retained, whereas with a junkyard axle there's a lot more work involved with that. So of course their axles come ready to go, rotor to rotor, got brake pads on them already. Just a really nice setup. So on the super builds we do still utilize a track bar, and we don't really have to. Everything's triangulated really nicely, but the track bar just, to me, it just really makes it that much better to drive on the road. And we have not found any reason to not have it off-road. It hasn't limited us in any ways. So it is what we would consider a traditional 5-link. We triangulate everything as much as we can, but the track bar just really just gets that front end super solid and super stable on the road as well as off-road. Let's talk about the ORIs and the mounts a little bit. So a lot of people mount their ORIs on the top of the axles, and there's nothing wrong with that. Really, the reason, and we've had questions about this in the past, the reason that we mount them on the back side of the axle Yeah, it might create a little more leverage, blah, 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 whatever. Our mounts are strong enough, that doesn't matter. But in all reality, the reason is because we can only go so high with these towers without getting into a bunch of stuff up there that we don't want to. You know, these Jeeps, we want to retain the ABS and all of the factory stuff there, the factory fuse box, all that stuff. So without cutting all that out or relocating it, we can't go any higher. So we had to go a little bit lower to get the ride height that we want out of this suspension. We've touched base on this a little bit in the last video, I believe, but we'll talk about the rear suspension a little bit again. Made a decision pretty early on to French the towers into the frame. We, in the beginning, didn't have any extra support here. We just kind of built some gussets around to help support everything, and then had a tube going across here, which was very intrusive to the body. So ultimately what we decided a couple years ago was to do this cross member and do away with the tube that goes across there, so that we have nothing in the body other than our tower covers, and so you still have all that cargo space. The reason that we went with this style of cross member is it makes it super strong. What you can't see, and you won't see because it's not done yet, is we also box in the bottom section of this, so you can kind of see the weld marks here. So it's welded there. There will also be a box on the bottom side to really just give this thing that much more support. These strut towers are super strong. There's zero deflection in any of it, and we beat on these Jeeps hard. This Jeep won't ever get beat on, but you'll notice that these struts are mounted to the top side of this axle, and the reason is because we have nothing in our way on the back, so we can make this tower as tall as we want to and retain that ride height that we're looking for. So if we were to hang it off the back, that really exposes it to a lot of danger in the rocks. Putting it on the front exposes it to a lot of danger from the front tires kicking up. So we found that this is the most secure place for this very expensive RI strut to go, and we built our towers accordingly to make sure that everything clears there. If you'll notice, we run a pinion support on this 14 bolt axle. So rear end is same Fusion provided axle. It's a 14 bolt. This is their newest edition of the shaved. So it's actually, I think it's technically got 15 diff cover bolts, but they call it a 13 bolt because it's shaved. It's got a flatter bottom than a traditional 14 bolt. And we run that pinion support, really? Because we want to. That truss is super strong, but adding that extra support to the truss down to the pinion support just ensures me that thing is never going to go anywhere. This guy could go out and jump it and that won't break. There might be other things that break, but that's not going to break. So we just, overkill's like in my blood, and so I try to over-engineer everything so that we don't have any failures on that part of it. So one of the things we're currently working on is getting the exhaust routed and clearance properly. So we're just about done with all of that. We've got a couple of hangers left to weld up, and then the exhaust will be ready to pull out and fully TIG weld. But before we can do all of that, we will set the body back down and just triple check all of our clearances one last time before we start ripping this thing apart. On this particular setup, the customer, so we've done another one with the Borla Pro XS, and it sounded amazing. We loved the sound of it, but this particular customer wanted it just a little bit quieter, so we decided to run a couple of resonators to quieten it down a little bit. Like I was saying, it is very tight clearances, so we did have to trim the body out. We were actually going to, we'll build a plate to cover that, weld it all up, that way it's solid. We don't have to worry about corrosion or anything like that down the road. So we'll get all that cleaned up, painted, and
Yeah, because the mufflers, when we lower the body,
they're like right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy tight under here, but it's doable if you put your mind to it. So
yeah.
Really, the next big task is what we will likely do is set the body back down, and once we get these exhaust hangers on, set the body back down, and before we finalize welding anything up, we'll roll it out into the middle of the shop. We'll flex everything out, just triple check, make sure everything clears. We don't have anything that needs to be adjusted. We shouldn't. Everything's all JKUs are the same, but you know, you never know. You just want to do your due diligence before you fully weld everything and then have to cut something off. And then once we know everything clears, we'll roll it back in here, pull the body off of it, strip everything out off of it, fully weld all the brackets on the frame, flip it over, fully weld the bottom side of everything. We've got a couple, like I said, we got to box in some stuff there. And then while this is off to powder coat, we will work on the body side of things. We've got the tower covers to weld in. We've got these to weld in, and then this one's getting a B-pillar chop, so we've got to do that as well.
Oh yeah.
So
we're gonna dedicate a whole video to the B-pillar chop. That'll be a good one.
There's still quite a bit of stuff to do on that end of things, but as far as the chassis goes, it's practically ready. I'm human. I messed up. I got to put the cage back in it before I can send it off to powder coat because I failed to build the provision for the spare tire while it was in. So
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, right over my head. So anyway, we'll stick the cage back in. No big deal. It's good practice for the newbies over there, and who are just sitting around doing nothing because we told them to. In the next video, once we've test flexed it and tear it back down, we're going to go through and go into more detail about our brackets replacement. Once it's all fully welded up, we'll give you a real good view of everything and show you how everything looks in raw form. And then it's going to go off to powder coat. And then we'll put it back together, obviously. Yeah. Okay, guys, that's the end of this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave some comments about what you want to see us do in future videos. Do you like what we're doing? Do you like seeing these super builds? Do you want to see day-to-day work in the shop? Do you want to see different projects that we do sometimes? Tell us what you want to see, and we'll see if we can make it happen. We'll see you guys out there. So on
That just gave me an idea. I'm gonna hold the camera like this,
Okay.
and then you're gonna come in the frame.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.